filled with tattle. Who is big in battle? I don't really care. I'm trying to climb this ladder. Being blind to chatter. Do my finest battles. It's gonna get me where I can break the shackles.
Alright, what's up, everybody? My name is kevspeakstruth. I'm here with my friend TakeOff Burford, and we're here at Trackout Studios.
The one and only.
Yeah. And today we're going to be talking about Thomas's, TakeOff Burford's debut project, Intro to T, which we recorded here. I produced it, I mixed it, mastered it. We
Made
working
every
on
beat.
this. We worked. We spent a lot of time on this, so it's gonna be a little bit of like some more about the project, and about him and just the whole process. So, how you feeling today, Thomas?
I feel good. I'm excited to be here. It's a little surreal. It doesn't feel, the project dropped yesterday, so it's kind of, it's insane. If I had to find a word to try to place it, man, it's but I'm glad to be doing this. I'm glad to be opening up a little more, opening the doors and letting them peel behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And so wouldn't rather be here. Wouldn't want to be here with anybody but you. You know what I'm saying? So
I love you, buddy.
I love you. All right, don't touch my mic.
That hurt my heart. So
we don't gotta dive straight into this. Look, let's go off script. So something that he said project, right? And I've been finicky, all right, because I never knew
project,
whether
album,
to call it an album, a project. Couldn't
thing.
call it a mixtape, that's for sure. So this is my stance on this, right? Discovered this in my shower. My best thoughts come there.
Okay, he said best thoughts come in the shower. What do you guys think about that? I don't know. We'll see. You can comment below.
I think that's a common consensus.
Do your best thoughts? I think to me, I think it comes when you're pooping, but that's just me.
Do you not poop with your phone?
Yeah, but like,
see, I'm dome scrolling. I use that while I'm shitting. I'm dome. Doom.
It's doom scrolling. That's
like dome, because like
no, it's doom scrolling. That's what.
All right, we can agree to disagree. That's not really the focal point here. But before we get sidetracked,
you don't know about PNG.
What I say?
Fucking little dicky.
What I'm saying is, so this is how I look at it.
Okay.
All right. My current project is the album, right?
Okay.
Right. So the project that I'm currently working on,
are you talking about
that I was working on, the reason that I call it, because I've been calling it a little bit of both, right? And it's because I'm considering my current project to be my album, right? But it's called The Album because it's only one. I'll have multiple projects that I work on throughout the tenure of my career.
But the album has been made, is what you're saying.
Well, yes, now it has. But the reason that, even during the creation of it, the reason that I'd call it an album instead of a project is that my current project, my current focus of what I'm working on is the album, right? So I'll have many projects that I work on, but the album, there's only one Intro to T album that I'm going to make.
Okay, I get what
so
you're saying.
That's why each album is different, but they're all projects at the end of the day. So yes, it's an album. Thank you very much.
Short answer, it's an album. Buy the album. Okay. Buy the album! So, okay, yeah. I mean,
I just wanted to...
You wanted to clear that up.
Just a little bit.
On that note, though, I think in modern music, it's hard to like define what an album is, and I think a big part of that is because like we don't make albums the way that we used to. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like where everything's on tape.
To make albums?
Well, back in the day, they used to be on tape. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was on tape, and it's like you had to do it all, not all in one take, but in theory, all in one take. So I just think it was a different kind of artistry. The way the music was made and the way like everything was brought in, I think gave it a different sound, a different energy, and that's why we don't really experience albums the way they experience it now. But that's just my personal opinion. Question number 1: as far as the project album, what does it mean to you?
Oh, we diving in with the big guns.
Yeah, first question. We're going deep.
I probably should have rehearsed these.
Nah, we wanted the real thing.
What does the project mean to me? That's I think it not to overplay, but it meant a lot. It meant almost everything, right? So to me, myself, it means that this is legit, that we're really taking it to the next stage. We're stepping up with this. It means that I'm able to bring into fruition the ideals that I play with, that I ponder with, right? So when I first started making music, of course, the album was something I would have made, something I thought I would make, but to be able to make an album so cohesive, and to look back at it and be proud of my own work so much so that to me it's kind of like a reassurance of where I'm at and where it is I'm going.
Yeah, I feel that. I definitely agree too. I think it's definitely reassurance to where you're going and where you've come from. I think I just second all that. Like I think you you kind of hit, that's brilliant. That's a great answer.
Um, Also, I think that it's like a propulsion, right? I don't know if I said that correctly, but it's like even though it just dropped yesterday,
Yeah,
going through the creation of it, seeing how much it took to make it happen,
yeah, like yeah,
it just made me hungrier for the next body of work.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, so to me, it's kind of like a wake up call, and it also makes me appreciate the other bodies of work a lot, so much more,
yeah.
so much more.
Well, I think it just teaches us like this isn't a game.
On that note, because we enjoy what we do, right? So even though I enjoy making this music,
Yeah,
even though I like making the projects and the songs, this isn't a game, you know.
yeah,
And in realizing it's really like having that small business mindset and moving in such a manner,
definitely.
it's something that's
It's a
would
big
have
part
never
of it.
seen it in the cards.
We'll definitely we'll have to. I mean, we can touch on it now on the small business thing because I don't think we have any questions here. Well, kind of pertains to all of it, but I think that's a big part of it is understanding that like being a to do this for real, to do music and put music out seriously is to understand what it is to run a small business. You know what I mean? Like you got to understand, uh, what overhead is and like all these other different things. Like just understanding like what it takes. The everyday effort towards this goal. And then understanding that even when you reach that goal, like there's going to be many more to reach, but like it just takes time. That takes time. It takes repetition. It takes like just nonstop effort.
And when you reach those goals, it doesn't necessarily come with a reward,
Right,
or like
exactly. Many times
kudos
it
or
doesn't.
recognition.
Many times it doesn't. It's you like we talked about off camera before this. Like it's you have to show yourself that great job.
Yeah.
Congratulations, pat on the back.
You gotta
Otherwise,
be your biggest supporter, man.
you
Your
have
biggest
to.
critique.
And
All of
in
it.
reality, when you do that for yourself, what you're doing is you're creating an opportunity for other people to do it for you. So when they see you do it for yourself, like some people, obviously, there's gonna be haters, right? But ultimately, the people who become fans, the people who become like, like wow, like I really, really love what he's doing and what they're about. Um, they're gonna see that and be like, wow, like I want to celebrate too. Like I'm proud of you. Like you mentioned earlier, like people that you work with and stuff coming up to you and giving you that recognition, or just people in general that we know giving you the recognition. I think is awesome because it's like, we work hard. You know what I mean? And like it's like when anyone puts out about a work, and this is like not just with you, but like I think that's something that we struggle with as artists is like showing ourselves like, hey, like great job, like you did that. You put a lot of time, love, energy um into putting something out. So I think
Because as
it's definitely
artists,
admirable and it should be like recognized more.
thank you. As artists, I feel like the reason it's so hard or we get lost is because
Yeah.
once we're finished and we release the album, we know it's no longer a moment to rejoice. Now it's like, how does it correspond with the fans? What's the
Right.
feedback? And even though that shouldn't be the focal point, because of the nature of being a small business and having to have that mindset, then right away it takes away from the art itself almost.
Yeah, it definitely does. It does take away from the art itself, and it kind of robs you of the experience of just enjoying it.
Yeah.
Question number 2: why is it called Intro to Tea? I think I argued for a different name too at one point. But
You definitely did.
yeah, that's me.
It with it be my debut album and being the first time that I'm giving out such a body of work, it felt almost right and almost self-explanatory with the way that I wrote it. So
Okay.
the topics on the project are about who I am as a person, what I stand for, what I believe in, what I see is right and wrong,
Yeah.
where I come from, and where I'm going.
Right.
So
Right.
it's a truly introduction of myself to my fan base and my listeners. Also, in the creation of the project, we created it from the viewpoint of us as me and the listeners being in the same physical space, almost
Right.
like a ballroom, right? And there's certain
Yeah.
songs that when you listen, you'll be able to pick up on that. And so it's really my introduction to them.
Okay. I love that. I mean, that's a great answer. Good answer.
Thank you.
All right. Question number 3. So how did it feel during, and how did it feel? It's like 2 parts. How did it feel during, and how did it feel after the project like being out? So when you were making it, and now that it's out, like I guess it kind of like a little bit built off of the last question, but a little
Yeah.
bit more in depth. Like you as like a person as Thomas, not necessarily as like TakeOff Burford. Like, what was it? Well, yeah.
Thomas was unhappy with TakeOff Burford. That's for sure. Right? You know, Thomas wanted to fucking watch sports, lay in bed, fucking indulge in shit I shouldn't have been. But I couldn't because of the dedication to the process, right?
Right.
Especially with wanting to make such a cohesive body of work.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that I could just take half-heartedly. So the person, even though the person and the artist is the same, if I had to look at it from the person perspective, it was something that pushed me to boundaries. You know, it really made me test my limits to a degree of how much I really wanted this, how much I wanted it to be a certain level. You know, because it could have been easy to be like, all right, I'm done recording it. That's the 10th time. I'm not gonna record it again.
Right,
you know, fuck that. But as an artist, that's just a punching in. You know, that's just
part of the game.
Exactly, a part of the day. But I will say one of the biggest takeaways during the creation is that it was so much more of a workload than I would have ever anticipated. Because, like I just said, we enjoy what we do. We enjoy making music. But when you're sitting here listening to the same song so many times over, when you're sitting here and you're over analyzing every little detail, every syllable, every sound in the background.
Yep.
As much as it's enjoyable and it's rewarding to see such a good body of work, in the moment it can be like how tedious it can be. It's just
it's painstaking, bro. Like it's like I said, like
it's tough.
And I mean, it's only like that if you care. You know what I mean? Like some people don't care. Some people just they put together bodies of work and they just throw it out there. And hey, like by all means, if that works for you and that's what you do, like I respect you. Like that's a whole talent in itself. But I feel like no, because you have to be like
to be able to disattach from it. It's really
like
truly
that's really hard. Like I struggle with that personally. So I really appreciate people who can do that. But for other people who like, and it's not saying they don't care, but people who are a lot more in this kind of realm where it is like something that's really near and dear to their heart.
Near and dear.
That's what I said. Near and dear.
You said near and near.
Near and dear to their heart. It allows you the opportunity to like, really put something real out there, and so it's like it does take that time and that effort and that consideration, and
consideration is a great word.
It's gonna challenge you in more ways than one, whether it's the topics you're talking about or it's the the actual rapping of the songs. Like that's because that's just like surface level, but it's like it's also like these songs that we make, they're more than just songs. Like for us, a lot of times they're us talking about a moment in our life that could have been really difficult. Could have been great, but it could have been really difficult. So it's like you're kind of having to relive these moments and like encapsulate that in a song, and I think that
always
adds
the weirdest
a different
thing.
layer to it beyond just like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm reciting lyrics right now because that's part of it, but it's like the actual like, yo, like I'm talking about my real life, like, and I think sometimes that's like where I get, even me personally, like watching you and even just being myself, like where there's like this like kind of fourth wall break kind of moment sometimes where I'm like, yo, we're really doing this shit. Like, like it's crazy, like, but it's like, as a kid, like it's different, but when you really start doing it as an adult now, really doing it, like you definitely get that feeling and that understanding.
I think before I answer the second part, I think that was what you touched on is something that's the craziest concept about a musician, right? Like at the end of the day, we're taking our life and giving it out to the masses to digest how they wish, right? So whether you like it, love it, hate it, this is us. This is our lives. This is what we went through, what we're going through currently, and it's an insane concept. It's almost insanity if you think about it. But
I mean, there's a great essay that Dizzy sent me a while back by James Baldwin, where he talks about being an artist and that it's solitary. It's very like your job is to essentially be a mirror and a speaker for the world and the times while simultaneously like siphoning your own traumas and shit and like turning that into something that is people can digest, you know what I mean, and make a part of their life, because that's like we said before, like once it's out, it's not yours anymore. It's like it's here you go, now it's for the world to listen to and critique or do whatever.
Do you feel like it almost taints it?
What exactly?
Like not in a derogatory or negative way, but once you release it from the vault and it's there, it's like because now blemish the world can put blemishes on it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Now people can, they can take shots at it, they can say
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, yeah, but that goes back to like we were saying earlier. Like, it's just like you just got to be proud of what you're doing.
Mhm.
Like that. Even if it's not, it's the best what you can do right now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's the most important thing. Or where you were at that time. And it's about that growth. So, and I think especially because the first project, man, like whatever, like you got hella room to grow.
It's not whatever. It's
You
not
can't.
whatever.
You just can't.
It's
You
fire
just
ass
can't let
project.
people, do that. You can't let people like just
Oh,
control.
I don't necessarily
narrative.
mean that for like the
But
project specifically, but just like in general.
in general, like just releasing music.
Yeah, like the sacredness of it is almost.
Oh yeah,
you know,
I go yeah.
it,
It does kind of taint it for sure. It does
but
kind of taint it for sure.
because at the end of the day, you got to make music for yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you make the listeners who listen, that's what you're supposed to have, right?
Yeah.
So the ones that hate, but hey, they say niggas ain't if people ain't hating, you ain't doing something right,
Right, exactly, yeah.
So
And haters usually are just people who wish they could do it themselves. They just never had the push or they never had the drive or whatever. But yeah, all right.
The second part of that, though.
Yeah, second part of the question.
Now that the album's out, my biggest takeaway, like I think I've touched on this a couple times already, is it just how awakening of an experience it is. Just realizing how much it takes and like also how willing I am, as much as it was a struggle and it was painstaking to go through it. I'm already hungry for the next project, and so now it's just about being in the moment and enjoying it while it's here, because like this is the first one, and no matter how many projects we do again, won't ever be the first one.
All right, we got another question for you. This is number what? Question number 3. Question number 3. What would you say was the main motivation behind why you wrote it? I already know what answer.
Okay, so transparency is what I believe in as a person, so I'm gonna give it to y'all. And y'all can do whatever y'all want with it. So like I it was like August in September 2021, right? I'm a music.
This
fan,
is a
right?
crazy hot take.
Nah, yeah, it is. It is.
This is a hot take for real.
Take it how y'all want it. I'm gonna give it to y'all.
Truth be told, this is a hot
truth
take.
be fucking told. Look, Kanye dropped his Donda album. Drake dropped his Certified Lover Boy album. And to be upfront, I'm not the biggest fan of either. I respect them and their greatness. I love what they do, but I'm not on their dicks like some people are.
Yeah.
But I listened to both albums after all the hype and after all the anticipation, and I felt respectfully like it really wasn't, especially with people to be at such a plateau in the game of which they do, to be so high in what it is they're doing. I didn't think it was albums that were worthy of what they were receiving, right? So it's a hot take. I understand. Yeah. I'm not saying they're not good music or it's not good songs. I just don't think that they were great, cohesive. I don't think that they were. I didn't at that time. Still don't think that they were great, cohesive albums. I felt like they were more like playlist.
I hear that. I think, and that's yeah.
So with that in mind, and being a little ego driven at that very moment, I was like, I'm gonna set out to make a better cohesive album.
Right.
And that was like the initial fire, right? Because for the first 2 years, I was just kind of focused on showing off my versatility, doing different types of songs, dropping a song a month, and I started working on Feature Fridays.
Right.
But that really ignited the fire of let me create a body of work, and then like I spoke on, it really tested myself to be to the level I wanted it to be. And then it was also, it's just a natural evolution of what it is that I'm doing, because if it was just a hobby, I could sit here and create singles and release them whenever I feel like it. Yeah. But to really, and how many of my friends, fans, and people who just support me reached out, like seeing how many people respond to a body of work compared to the singles, it's kind of like it's a rewarding feeling for the fact of a single, no matter how long it takes, it is at the end of the day one song. So there's a lot more riding on a project, the way that
than just one song. And it gives people an opportunity to have more of an opinion versus just that one song.
So that was the focal point of why it was over time. It was just due.
I feel that. Great answer.
And it is a very cohesive project. So I'm not saying the songs are better than Donda. No, I'm not saying the songs are better than Certified Lover Boy, but I'm saying it is a cohesive from start to finish album project, not a playlist.
Before we get to the next question, I don't know what's going on.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know what's going on. With
He didn't come prepared. Y'all see this?
No, I just never. It's never done this before, so I don't know why. It's
Because he's never had to work before. You see, he be duly dabbling. Now we're punched in. He lied on his resume.
You're funny.
It's just fucking ridiculous. Also, if your eyes wander, we got visualizers and music videos shot by the True Lee here at Speak of Truth Records. Yeah, go ahead. You can wave at the cameras if you want to. Yeah.
A wild OG has appeared. Question number 5. So, question number 5.
It's hitting a little rough. Just so you know.
What, if any, inspirations did you pull from for this project?
No niggas don't inspire me.
Oh my God, I hate this nigga, yo. Why is he like this?
Nah. Nah, I'm playing. I think consciously, like intentionally pulling from something. I think those like what the kind of like the drum line for Facade, right? Kind of similar to
Right.
the song by Cole with Kendrick on it. Maybe
Forbidden
like
Fruit.
there it is, Forbidden Fruit. So like Facade, the bass line to it was kind of similar, right?
Yeah, I was definitely trying to channel that for sure.
So at that point, it was intentional. The creation of the song, obviously, when you listen to it, it doesn't really pull from there at all. I do think that another intentional inspiration, like my outro. So Cole has a song. I should have really looked this up. Cole has a song. I think it's Saint.
Saint Tropez.
Yes, sir. Thank
Saint
you. I wasn't gonna try to say it because I fuck it every time. It's like a 15-minute song. He's just shouting out everybody, you know.
It's Saint Tropez, but I know what you're talking about.
Are you sure it's not?
I don't think it's. Maybe it is.
I think it is. I think it is because it's like a part of a song.
I'll play it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I'll put it somewhere.
Right here.
This is the credits. This is the roll credits, nigga. If you don't...
He just shouts out everybody, and obviously, even though this is the first body of work, and there'll be many albums to come, I wanted to take the opportunity to do the same, you know, because I am really appreciative, despite me playing around at first. I am really appreciative for the support, for the inspiration, for the motivation locally. Not even just locally with artists, but like, you know, friends, family.
Right.
And then, so I kind of wrote that or freestyled that realistically, on this directly from how he did his. But from there might have been some subconscious like inspirations. Like on Meet Them, the song itself is really like a whole kind of like double entendre.
Yeah, I got a whole story with that beat. Go ahead.
It's crazy how it works. And you know, subconsciously that could have been kind of like like a get off my dick again. It's a lot of Cole. So if I just make this simple, if there was one person that inspired this,
Cold War, baby.
it's Cold War, because you know, my icon, my legend. No, like I don't try to be nobody else but the best TakeOff Burford I can be. But if there's anybody I ever wanted to compare my game to or strive to be like, I don't think there's a better model than him. So
I think that's also one thing that's kind of like a caveat with we should put in this too. Is like we went to Dreamville Fest last year. So he got a chance, like with me, to see Cole live with Drizzy Drake. It was crazy, but just getting to see Dreamville Fest as a whole, and you see like the community and the love and the family that's there. It really just shows you what a brand can do, you know, and what you can do as like an artist to build something that is truly like just beautiful. That's like this really is like the best word I can put together for it.
Yeah, that was. I also do think that was a great. Besides that, shout out to Killer Mike, his album Michael this year. His album Michael. I think that album and going to see Dreamville were two of the biggest
Inspirations.
Biggest inspirations I've had.
Question number 6. What do you want people or listeners to take away from this project, this album?
Damn, see, this is like a question I would have loved to have had thinking time on. But
Off the top, off the dome. That's how we do it, baby.
Oh, you look that way. Is that camera back on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Until it clicks off again.
Something I want my listeners to take away from this project. I want you guys to understand that I really put myself into what I do. You know, I'm not saying that it shouldn't be that way or should be that way. You know, to each, however you create, you create. But when you listen to this project, just know you're getting a piece of me. And what you take away is the same. So how you want to take it, that's up to you. But it's there for you. You know. I also think that they can take away how much not only I care about this, but how legitimate this is to me. You know, some people rap as a hobby. Some
Yeah,
people rap for
take it
fun.
seriously.
Some people rap in their free time. This is serious to me. This is something that I'm building a business with. I'm building a brand, and this is the first taste of it for them. So they can take away that the authenticity is always going to be there, regardless of the situation.
Nice, yeah, definitely. I think for me, I think what I hope they take away is also all that and just your story. Like I think it's like you have even this is only a little part of it. You know, the story of who you are, how like your journey to getting into rap and meeting me. The whole lung collapsing thing is crazy. So it's like it's a great story that I think we'll have to touch on another time. But
I think we should touch on it after this question. Before the next.
Yeah. But I think it might lead into some other things. But
okay, perfect.
Yeah, I just think your story is just beautiful and really like real, and I think that's something I try my best as a producer and engineer, as a friend, to try to push you towards is being your most authentic with that, and showcasing that as much as possible, not shying away from it. Even though sometimes it's like we naturally are, as people, we're like, I don't know, man. Yeah. This may not look. Doesn't matter. Like it's real.
My favorite excuse is it doesn't fit the brand, right? Shout out Pusha P Paco. What Paco said, "What's your brand?" I said authenticity, right? He said,
"Got it." I said, "Oh, I said Paco, bro. Paco's the fucking activator, bro.
You, he makes shit happen.
He really does. He's the activator, bro. He makes things happen. Paco the activator. Paco, boy, Paco.
Much love.
Go stream fucking
all platforms.
Go stream Lemon Drop
right now. Go stream Lemon Drop right
now. So yeah, okay. Great.
It's a sexy hat.
This one?
Yeah,
I got this from like some booth. It's not Temu. It was some way back when.
Booth. You just got to disrespect it right away.
It was like, but it's a fire hat.
It is. But
it was like some knockoff website. Like I can't remember which one it was, but shout out to them because
shout out. Shout out to them.
You
you know who you are.
You know who you are. Whoever made it somewhere. Question number 7. What was the hardest part about making this project?
Working with you, bro. This shit fucking.
I'm a pain in the ass.
Nah.
I'm pretty difficult sometimes.
I touched on it earlier, but the dedication. Because again, wanting it to be to a certain level, wanting it to be a certain way, wanting it to sound a certain way, wanting my words and my thoughts to be articulated a certain way. The dedication of not just my time and effort, but the energy. You know, there was a lot of times that beyond exhausted, but we're not done yet. You know, and like there was a lot of times I would go home and some people who don't work on music might not understand this, but I didn't want to hear my music. I didn't want to hear a fucking
none of this.
breath from myself, right? I'm like just put it away, right?
I listen to fucking squirrels instead. Like
anything, dog. I listen to chickens running around, dog. It was but doing that, like I said, it pushed me to my limits. It made me question like how much do I want this? Not necessarily the music, but how much do I want this project to be? Because at any point in time, I could have took the easy way, right? I could have been like, let's fucking half-ass it. Let's not do this. No, let's not. How many times would we start a mixer and I'm like a mix, and I'm like, damn, let's go back. I want to add this, and I'd get the eye, I'd get the face, but it's like,
I'm not gonna lie, like I'm so like, but it's
part of the process.
I'm somebody who many times when I'm doing the thing, and I do the rapping thing, anything, when I'm doing music, whatever, when I lay something down, I'm like, all right, bet, let's go. You know what I mean? But I also understand sometimes that wanting to like I don't know, let's go back and add it. Yeah. But like I'm also somebody who like I suffer a lot from demoitis. Like so I'll we'll make a demo. I'm like, damn, this demo sounds great. I'm the illest nigga alive. But then it's like when it comes time to actually like maybe touch up that demo or anything, I'm like, yeah, but like it's not. But I think that's something that I will definitely like piggyback on for you and like support you on and say is very true. Next up, question number 8.
I'm sorry. Lastly, getting out my own way. That was one of the hardest fucking freaking parts.
Yeah.
One of the hardest fucking parts.
That's
of
probably the
entire
hardest
fucking
part.
experience.
Jesus.
Was just getting out of my own way. And if
Yeah.
you're listening, if you're watching this, just get out your own way, man. You can do it. If you can think it, you can do it. It's that simple, right? And the people around you, they want to help you. People, regardless of what you think in your head, man, get out your own head, get out your own way. Use the resources around you, and go for it, man. It's that simple.
Yeah, 1,000%. Question number 8. What was the most rewarding part of the project?
Every time I got to leave from working with this nigga, right? Every time I go home, I'm like, I don't hear his voice for another week. I'm gonna stop bullshitting. The most rewarding part, I ain't gotta think about this, was two things: the recording process, the final time, right? Because we had recorded it at our home studio one time, right?
Yeah.
And then we came here, Trackout, and we actually started recording it. The energy that I felt like as
different here.
100%.
It's different here.
But even when I was coming for the feature Fridays or the singles here, it was good energy, great energy. But when I started recording the project, I was like, the feeling was one that was so rewarding. It felt insane.
Yeah, it's a different experience.
Then hearing the masters back for the first time, right? So because we're putting in all this work, and like I said earlier, the goals aren't necessarily ones that you can touch. They're not necessarily ones that you can be like, all right, let's put this here for show. But to set out for such a high standard or such a high mountain peak, and then to be listening to the masters for the first time, I'm knowing I'm right there. The only thing stopping me from reaching that peak was releasing the project, right? So hearing the masters definitely had to be probably the most rewarding, because it was like a nod that you really did that. Like we really did this. And the nod that it's out is
now
only,
work, boy.
You
Put in that work,
boy. So, and it's only been a day that it's been out, but also seeing the love and the recognition that it's getting.
Told you,
it's a very enjoyable
shit,
process, and I'm glad that they enjoying it. It's just that simple. And it's not like, because like I told some people that I know is like really into the music, like don't just be like, oh yeah, it's like, break it down for me, tell me what I could do better, right? Like tell me what parts I strayed away from, right?
Same here, bro. Like, and as a producer, as an engineer, I'm always looking to grow. So go listen to it, comment, let us know. Let us know what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, what you want to hear in the next thing. We're working on a lot of things at the same time, so
what you want to get doubled down on too.
Yeah. What do you feel like we really like hit out the park? Like, I have personal favorites, of course, and we'll go through that later. But yeah, question number 9: what is your favorite song on the project and why?
Oh man,
vicious coming with them questions, boy.
Can I plead the fifth?
Nerd.
I'm in America.
Nar.
I'm a U.S. citizen.
Nar.
I know my rights.
Nar. Which one is your favorite? And why?
All right.
I have 2.
Drink champs, they fucking take shots when they can't answer.
You got the blunt, bro. But you're gonna do it anyway. You're gonna say what it is. So you gonna hear
supported me for 2 seconds.
You gonna hit the blunt and answer the question, or you gonna answer the question, but the question gonna be answered.
All right. Well, I'm kind of like, it's like wishy-washy. I'm finicky about this shit because I feel like I've had people ask me even outside the project, what's your favorite song? And each song is so different, right? Each song like has a different meaning to it. If I had to pick one, which I can't do, but I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna name my top 3.
Okay, that works.
Can I do that?
Yeah,
all
right.
right.
Do it. Well, how about we rephrase the question?
My favorite songs.
Favorite songs. It started
with an S.
I'll do it over. Ready? All right. Question number 9: what are your favorite songs from the project and why?
Ooh, never really want to limit them. I love the whole project, but
that's so cliche, but it's true.
I love the whole project, the whole thing. I'll name 3. If I had to select them, I would say "Never Be." Would definitely be up there, just because it's a good representation of what I really bring. It's a good representation of what I hope to do with my music. I'm not necessarily trying to get you lit, trying to get you to shake your ass and go slide down the block. And I think on top of that, it's a very real song. It's a song that if people take the time to listen to, they'll see my artistry in itself. You know, on the opposite spectrum of that, I would say Facade is probably my. I'm not gonna say second favorite, but would definitely be one of the favorites as well, because it's another one that it shows people what I can do, what I bring. You know, and it's, again, at the end of the day, the message in that song is to be yourself. You don't gotta act. You don't gotta cap. You don't gotta live in a facade. Just be you, right? So again, I'm delivering a message that I truly believe in, but I'm giving it in a way that's a little more in the standard of now, you know? So,
I agree with that.
Lastly, even though it's not necessarily a song, I think the outro is definitely one of my favorites, because I was able to tell the people that I love and I appreciate them. I was able to tell them that, and I, like,
Love that.
we never know how the world's gonna work.
About.
If I was to go tomorrow, my grandma, my grandpa,
that.
But honestly, even you guys
facts.
could go and listen to that and hear me genuinely tell you from a place of my heart that I love you. You know, so it's there forever. And so I think that I think those would be my favorite. What would you say?
So my favorites are, I have two, for two different reasons. My favorite number one is gonna be Facade. I think I just love, I think that to me is the best of the bunch, in the sense of it really tells, I think, a great story. I think it shows your great ability to do different cadences, your songwriting, production wise. I think we really put our foot in that one with the chants and all the different little things, and it just, for me, I think is really great, and I think is a great example, in my personal opinion, of where we need to go. Is that kind of music where that's a sound, that's TakeOff Burford to me. I think that's it gives you every part of you.
I think on the second project we definitely got some more in that.
That are in that exactly that showcase that. So the second one though, my number two, and it would be Masterpiece.
I was just about
the reason I say Masterpiece is a couple of reasons. So number one, narratively, I think it's great. You're rapping your ass off, talking about just real shit, being a musician and being anything. You're every day you're working, and you're just trying to master how to be calm, how to be just patient, and knowing that everything is happening as it needs to. That to me is such a real story. So I love that about it. Then, for me as a producer, I just think that beat for me is a great example of who I am as a producer. The things that I like to do, and I think I went hard on that shit, bro. I fucking the keys, all the little moments in that.
What I love too about Masterpiece is how sonically. So something that I'll share with y'all. I love ad libs. I'm not the best at executing them, right?
It's struggles,
but
it's getting better.
We're getting better, But it's good. What up? With that song though, instead of using ad libs, we use kind of sounds, right? And I think that going back to your producing, it puts you in the realm of which I really wanted you to. Because at the end of the day, that's what ad libs are for. It's something that's supposed to be felt, not necessarily heard, and it's supposed to just bring you more into the world that you're already in. And I feel with the chains, the apple biting, the lightning bolts and stuff like that, it was just thunder strikes. I said lightning bolts. You can't hear a lightning bolt.
Yeah. I mean, they're in your ad libs, post. It's all the same.
Yeah. But
the sounds. Period.
Yeah. It was Masterpiece is a masterpiece.
Yeah, I think it's as far as in the future when people look back at, what was. I'll you me that for a second.
You know what's ironic?
Is it right now?
Masterpiece is right there.
Right as drop the phone.
Oh, flopping.
Yeah, we just and even this this video I think is great because a little story about this video. He was like, I don't have any content, and I was like, bro, we can make. This is what we do. You know what I mean? This is what we're bred to do. People of color, bro. We make something out of nothing every day.
People of everywhere.
But specifically niggas, bro. We out here. We working, bro.
Hey, look. So that touches back to what I said. Use your resources.
Use your resources. So we had all this. He was like, I don't have any B-roll. I was like, bro, it doesn't matter. We threw some shit together. And do some filters over it, looped it. I have videos from my phone. We have videos from other places. This is inside of my car. It's just this is your track out. It's just trying, bro. Like, do what you got. What you got. At the end of the day, this is real. This is what it is. Like, we're not trying to hide anything. Like, this is really who we are. We're documenting this, you know, because one day, may not be today, may not be tomorrow. People are gonna be like, "Yo, these niggas, that's crazy." I met that guy one time at this Chick-fil-A. He was really nice guy. Really like that guy.
That's actually something I struggle with, right? Because I'm a good dude, right? I'm a good dude. Sometimes I'm in a bad mood though, right? And when I walk around,
that is faith and all. Yeah, go ahead.
no, but like when I walk around, sometimes I'm in a bad mood, and you be like you're hangry, you know, like you ain't ate yet. You don't notice that you're feeling some type of way, and I'll get home and I'll be like, damn. After I've ate or I've calmed down, I'll be like, I was rude to somebody out in public, or like I was a little out of character, right? And then I'm like, that's not me. Now what happens 5 years from now? And they're like, oh, I seen that dude in Chick-fil-A. He wasn't that nice. I don't want that. That's not me. If I was ever not nice to y'all, just come back. I'll be nice to y'all. All right.
He said, "I'll be nice now that I know who you are."
I'll be. Yeah, I ain't gotta know who you are. Just come back and be like, hey, were you upset yesterday? I'll be like, you know what, I was, bro. My bad. Enjoy your day. I like your shoes. Stay blessed.
Like shoes. The state, yo, there was. Where was I hearing about this? Someone was talking about like the idea, like stay blessed, like it's like the most like passive aggressive shit. Like you stay blessed. God bless you. Have a great day.
It was like it was.
You have a great day, sir.
You have a better day.
You have the best day you've ever had in your life. Fucking so funny. All right.
Question number 10.
Question number 10.
Diaz.
What is your least favorite song on the project?
That's a question?
Yes.
There's a what the fuck is what the frick is this? I tried not to curse. I think I've only said fuck a couple times. I apologize.
I'm cursing. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, we can just re-ask the question.
I think it might be overheating.
Is that what it is?
Maybe. I don't know. Throwing out theories right now, dog.
All right.
I ain't no photographer, scientist. Photographist. I don't even know.
Photosynthesis. You know where we are going. We're gonna get there, nigga. Now, hey, $5 if you can tell me the definition of photosynthesis.
All right. Photosynthesis is the process of.
You starting off swell.
Hold on, I know the word. Hold on.
$5.
Brain blast. It's a process of the lights being converted into food.
No, we're not rocking with it. I want the scientific term. I want.
Oh, so the light is being turned into. I think it's like something to do with the mitochondria. It's like converting it into sugars.
I'm just getting lost in the sauce at this point. I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm kind of mushrooms and shit are fucking.
So you can't even tell me how the mushrooms grew, but you're gonna eat them.
The mushrooms grow out of poop. in mycelium and like the neural network of the planet.
So you think if photosynthesis didn't exist, mushrooms would still be here?
No, because I think it all lives in one.
Okay. So back to what I was saying. My least favorite song is a disrespectful question, but shit, I try to like game plan what we could talk about and like just like I was like
want to throw for a loop there.
My favorite song was something I pondered because I'm like he'll probably ask me that. My least favorite I have not thought about.
And by least favorite doesn't mean like it's not a good song.
Yeah,
it could just be like it's not your favorite because of maybe like it wasn't your favorite overall how it was written or whatever. Like you're like that song like it's just like not my favorite. This is authenticity. You know what I'm saying? Like, which one do you feel like? Okay, that one just isn't my favorite of all of them.
I feel like I took most of them off the project.
Okay, that's real. That's
like
there's no wrong answer.
I had a song about like collapse, like my lung collapse. I removed that off my project, even though it's a song I stand by believing. I didn't think it fit the project. Right?
Yeah, it fits for the next one for sure. Definitely feels the energy of the next one too.
Right. And again,
crazy.
That's how the universe works. At that moment in time, I'm like, I guess it would be a single, but in reality, I'm just saving it for number 2.
Yeah.
Out of the songs that are on there, my least favorite, I would have to say, is Meet Them. Right. So, and I would say that because of how undigestible it is. I know that when the masses listen to a song like that, they're not gonna comprehend it. They're not gonna catch it.
Right.
Even like Bartitians, people who are really lyricists, they might not really understand the picture I was painting. That's why I think once we drop a music video for that, that's going to be a crucial aspect of really bringing them into that full world.
Yeah.
But I think I think it could have been articulated better. Knowing, and now I'll have to the story time, right? So
Like a little caveat.
when I wrote this song, I wrote it like I was doing. I was just writing, right? And I don't say that to like minimize it, but I'm just in the process of writing. And I get towards the end of it, and I want to use the hard R, right? And as a black man, obviously, there's no fucking reason for shit like that.
Yeah.
But believing in the source,
Yep.
believing that like I'm not necessarily always the one writing. That
Thousand times we're not. Most times we're not.
that I went ahead and wrote it down, right? So I wake up the next morning, and I always go back the next day and really see it. And I'm rapping it over to myself, and I'm like flabbergasted, right? Because now I'm seeing why he used the hard R, right?
Yep,
So
yep.
every line was really like a double entendre. So consciously, at the moment of its conception, as I'm writing it, I'm writing about the music industry, about
Yeah.
how you know, just what we're doing once we get there, and how we're never gonna turn back, all types of stuff.
Yeah.
And when I re-listened to it, I realized that literally every bar except for maybe two inside of the song was a double entendre about slavery. So then
Fire.
when my
Not
subconscious
fire, but yeah.
but when my subconscious is telling me to use the hard R, it's to really emphasize that picture that I'm
The
not
story
even
that you're
realizing
telling,
I'm painting,
right.
right? And
Which, yeah.
that was like another day that I really realized how much art is here, how much I can really tap in.
Yeah.
And
It's
it
generational, bro. Like we're telling stories that are generational. We're you know what I'm saying? It's generational trauma, generational like.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like I had an ancestor speaking to me when I
Yeah,
wrote something like
1000%,
this.
bro.
You know what I mean? Because again, in my head, I'm just
I
fine.
feel like it
I'm
makes sense
writing
with the
about
next
industry.
project. Why the next project is seen what it is, bro. Like
And
it's
how it just lines up.
Your personal
You
journey,
know?
like that's also something I can say has been really dope to witness. Is your literal personal journey as a person, like through the music.
Yeah.
Because even with the Meet Them, that we're on that, like I made that beat. I mean, 2019 or some shit, like so long ago, bro. You know, and like it. I honestly like I loved it when I made it, but like I grew out of it. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even have the files for it when
Yeah.
I think I showed it to
Yeah.
you.
Which is crazy because you still added the bass on that.
Yeah, so I had to go back and add in bass, and like I think it was okay. Like it came out like as good as I think that would be my least favorite for
Yeah.
that reason, just
Yeah.
because it's just like I wanted it to be better, but like given the situation and what it was, like I think we made a great thing out of it. But that beat is just so old to me, so it's crazy to like. It's really testament, like bro, like never throw anything away.
That's
but also like we can't judge our own
Yeah.
work at all.
Yeah.
Like you never know. You could be sitting on the best song you ever made. Like right now, like I have tons of songs. You have tons of songs that we're sitting on that. Who knows if that's the song?
Yep.
Like I spoke about earlier. Like what if that's the video? What if that's the thing? So what if? That's crazy, but it is what it is.
On that beat too, it was actually one of the first beats I got from you. Probably like the first 6 months I got it from you.
Yeah, maybe.
And I had loved it because it had almost like an arcade sound to it, right in the beginning.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I hear a beat at the studio, I'm listening to it. I'm like, oh, I could do this at the third. Go back to write this at the third. 3 days, 3 weeks, later, it's not there, and I'm like, oh, I can't see the picture no more.
Right.
So then I sat on that beat for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
I tried writing to it time and time again. I truly couldn't. I thought about, it was one time I talked to you about like giving you back a beat to get a different beat, and then one
Shooters
day,
got me on it.
and then one day I wake up, boom, and that shit
It
was
was there, yeah.
So it's insane. It's insane. But like I said, I think it would be my least favorite because of the fact that now knowing the message I was truly articulating, not the one I thought I was, I could have articulated it better.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I think for me, like that would like my least favorite would only be that one for the production.
You need to step your game up, boy.
Every song, yeah, just because I was young, and every song on that project, I still feel like every song is solid. Like there's not a song that I don't think is good. We're great.
Let me ask you a question outside of my project.
Okay.
Discography. Because like I'm not to be overconfident or whatever. Everybody has their own cup of tea, but I stand by the vision of every single song I have in my discography. I think every song is a solid, well put together, good song, except for one. If you had to pick your least favorite song out of my discography, maybe two, what would you say? Put the pressure on you now. You want me to start?
It's probably gonna be one of the first ones. It's not unknown. But one of the first ones, I think the one with Dope, the first one, like
he's cooking. He is correct.
One, I just think like mix wise could have been better. But I think it's like probably one of those. Probably that one. I think I remember what Imagine.
Like
I love the song.
no,
But like, I think the I could have done better with the mix on that.
I'm thinking "Let You Down," right?
Let You Down.
Cause
it's not the greatest song
for me.
It's not a bad song.
It's like a run-on sentence for me when I re-listen to it.
Yeah,
you know.
But you know what? One thing I will say too, like, and this is full transparency, like listening to Unknown versus the shit you're doing now, like all that back then, like it was a lot more monotone too. You weren't giving it as much love and energy or passion. I think you were a little more afraid of the mic.
But say I didn't know how to.
You didn't know, right? And now you've gotten a lot better, like being yourself. And also, that's me being the engineer, learning how to better encapsulate that. Encapsulate who you are as a person and bring
What's
that into
crazy
fruition,
to me
sonically.
Unknown is still, I would say, top 5.
Oh yeah, I just think it's a great
top 5. Like if I was
when
to
you
go
think
and
about
redo
the
that,
career of you as a person,
Yeah.
you think of, like when you think of J. Cole's or whatever, right? There's always like those pinpoint songs. There are those songs,
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm texting them.
Yeah, Unknown, man. That was like one of those songs that it was like an album experience inside of itself. Because when I wrote it, with the times of what was happening during it, because I wrote it during like March of 2020, right?
Yeah.
So
Last 3-4 years have been crazy, bro.
Insane. I was like, if I'm gonna write something like this, and I hadn't even started recording yet, right? I was like, but if I'm gonna write something like this, I gotta go 110. Like I gotta really give my all to this, right? And it was like one of those first times that after I wrote it, I was like, it's just legit, like it's but again now, like with the repetition, the way that I'm able to articulate the same types of messages, how much further I'm able to dive into the depths of it, it's yeah. I remember when we came to the studio the first time. I said we, because me and my boy Dope came, and he was like, yeah, I'm from New York, man. I was in Orlando, man. Now I'm over here. He said,
me?
He said, yeah. You couldn't. You don't see the resemblance. He said, everybody rap, man. Everybody says they rap. I'm tired of. I was sitting here and producing because I don't rap,
bro.
And I was fucking. I couldn't smoke at the time because of my lung collapse, so I was rolling off some edibles. Like I could barely speak. But
damn, I didn't know that. That's funny.
Could barely. The second time when I was just like sunken, like. Bro, if you can remember this, you were sitting in your chair. Jay was sitting closer to you than I was. I was sitting on the outside, and I was just. And then he said, "Oh, I don't want to use too much of your time, bro." 3 hours into the session, and I was like,
"Oh, yeah, nigga was sad."
Because my brain was melting. Because like, I was out of there. I was fucking.
I cannot do no more editables.
No, and it was the dispensary edibles, bro. I was out of that.
That's funny as hell to me.
But he said. Everybody say they rap. I'm tired of it. People that don't rap. And my boy Dope spoke up, and he was like, "Oh, nah. You about to see." And what we recorded was Unknown, right? And yeah. And
sorry, it's the shrooms.
Nah, I just bore him. You see, I told you I hate working with this man. The disrespect. All right, take the stage. Obviously, you're only awake when you're fucking.
Nah, that's the problem with the shrooms, is that they be fucking. I got it. Look at. No, what are you doing? Oh, okay.
What are you talking about? Fuck is he talking about?
Alright. Well, I think that's all the questions.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me?
I do. Okay. I don't, but I'm about to.
Yeah, he's about to hit me with some questions.
What do you think was your biggest takeaway from creating this project with me? So not necessarily as a producer overall, but a producer specified,
like as just like the job.
No, like tailored to working with me.
What was my biggest takeaway?
Whether it's like something we need to work on, something we worked on, something that we lack on. What was your biggest
one thing
takeaway?
I'll say that I can definitely say is I think it just showed me your willingness to try. And that's something I talk a lot about, is the importance of that. Willingness to try, willingness to be vulnerable, willingness to be vulnerable. Those things are so imperative to making great music. That's what I've learned from making my own music. That's why I try to do my own music. So with you, I really wanted to do that. And I feel like what I took away from that was that you are able to do that. But number 2, my biggest takeaway, honestly, bro, is just I'm just proud of you. That's what it really is going to come down to, is I'm really proud of you. I'm proud of you being willing to try as a person, putting your story out there, pulling yourself out of your comfort zone a lot of times, even if it was me being uncomfortable. Like, that's one thing I loved about when we went to the park to do the I'll put a little clip here.
Yeah.
When we went to the park to do the rapping or whatever, you were like, I'm nervous, or whatever, and I was like, dude, I'm just nervous too. Like, I was like, I've never done nothing like this. You were like,
yeah, I was like,
and I was like, I was like, yeah, bro. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, I am, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not, this is going to sound really super egotistical, but I am me. Like, I know I'm very, like, on camera all the time. I'm very much myself, So it's like, I know that can be, that's very unique. There are some people who have that, some people who like naturally are like that, and some people they have it in them, but it needs to come out of them.
Yeah.
And I feel like with you, it was like trying to get that out of you. With a lot of the stuff was like kind of getting you out of that shell. And I feel like that's really what I took away from that was just that you were willing to do it. And now I feel like you're at a point where I can, as a friend, as a producer, as like you're in a mentor some kind of way sometimes. Also, like I could leave you in a room now and know that you're confident and you got this and everything will fall into places it needs to. So yeah, that's really what I would say is I'm just proud of you, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What was the hardest track to create?
Man. Damn. I gotta look at the track list because
I didn't get this. When
that's really hard to say, bro. Like the hardest track to make. Do you mean like on an engineering standpoint or just like in general, the hardest track to
however you want to take it. Hardest track to see through, hardest track to make sound good, hardest track to engineer and produce.
I think the hardest track for me was
hardest beat to make.
Really was the intro, interlude, and outro. That was the hardest because I really wanted to make sure that they sounded like they were encapsulating the correct moments and like because I do feel like they kind of bring the story together. I had a conversation with someone like oh last night this client I had asked me, hey, like he was like, do you need to listen to the whole project all the way through to like understand? I was like, nah. I was like, it's just good music. I was like, but I do think
about my project.
Yeah, I was like, but I think that those 3 songs specifically, do paint a good story. Like if you wanted to just get like a sum up of what it's going to be.
Oh,
about,
intro, interlude, and outro.
Yeah, it gives you like a little because it's kind of giving you the beginning of the show, welcome to the show kind of energy, and then like thanks for coming, and interlude is kind of like.
If I can interrupt for a second, the project's only a half hour, so
yeah, it's very short.
You can take the time to listen to it all the way through.
It's very short, which I'm also really happy that we did. I think we made it like it's succinct. It's like there's no fluff. There's no like
next project's 3 hours.
It moves, but it moves really well. Like like it doesn't overstay its welcome. And I feel like that's a big part of it, bro. It's just like giving people here's this experience. All right, now we're out. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because like realistically,
to make it digestible.
Like except for maybe like Cole, Jid, some of my favorite, artists, how often do you find yourself listening through a full body of work the first time? Like we'll always go back and finish it.
Bro, I haven't listened to a full album in a very long time. Like other than like the Andre album,
the one
that just dropped.
You listened to it already?
Yeah, I've listened to it a couple times. It dropped yesterday.
Through?
Yeah.
You listened to it all the way through a couple
times? Yeah, at the crib.
That's insane.
It's beautiful.
I believe it. He also dropped on the day I dropped. Instead Drake. Niggas don't want smoke.
This shit's crazy.
Niggas don't want fucking smoke.
He's
all right,
now.
I am like,
I do not know.
Niggas lucky I'm humble. All right, because I don't know who the fuck they think they are. You dropping on a day like me, dropping on my day, nigga. He gonna drop a song. Drake gonna drop a song on the same day that says the only nigga that can make him push his shit back is Taylor Swift. Bitch, boy, man, legend go. Cause Drizzy. I love you, man, but God, I need help. Help a nigga out. Help me. You gravy. Give me a number 1. Shit. Right. No, but I'm humble, like I said, so I didn't mind.
Yeah, I don't think I have much else to say though. I think that's man, I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. What would you have named it if it wasn't Intro to T? If you didn't want it to be.
Honestly, I think it's a great thing. I think I would have called it the show or some shit like that because it's definitely what it feels like. Like it feels like you're really entering this world in this experience. Like I said, just something that's real. I think a lot of music today is just lacking that. It lacks that like reality. It's very cookie cutter. It's like we're gonna give you the typical, like even with the beats or whatever, right? Like it's like obviously we want to do things that are in the vein of what we're doing. But it's also like so much of hip hop right now is like in this future sound, right? And it's like I love that. That shit's great. Like I'm really all about that, the high tech sound or whatever. But to me, I still feel like there's something about the classic, real boom bap, authentic music that I grew up on personally. Maybe this is bias, that I just love that, and I feel like there's still a lot that can be done with it. Even though there's artists that have done a lot with it, there's new ways, new flavors to add. You know what I'm saying? Like pulling from different references. Especially for me as a producer, I listen to a lot of different kinds of music, so I try to really bring that into production. I feel like that's something I'm very grateful you let me do with this. Was like really kind of flex
Free range.
the different things I can do and what I like to make and produce and like so much is like I've grown and learned so much from this experience. Not only like as a producer, but like as a man and like just like my career, like musically, bro. Like there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that are gonna be announced later on. But like, hey, son, it's so fucking giving you that, but it's like, or cliche, but it's like it's true. Like, there's so many things going on that it's like I can't say all of it right now. But all of it is really a culmination because of all the work I've done with you, I've done with Evan, I've done with Paco, I've done with myself. Like just creating that credibility and that work ethic and just trying to continue to grind it out, bro. So
That's always going to precede you too.
But to answer your question though, yeah, it would have been like the show or something. But I think Intro to Tea is exactly what it needs to be for the name. I think it's a good. Excuse me. I think it's a great.
And then he gonna blow it my way. There's nobody over there.
It's a great video. You know what I'm saying? Or a great song. It's a great fucking.
He's just beating your ass.
He was fucking me. It's a great body of work. That's what I gotta say.
Let me find 2 more questions from the air right. For you. What was the biggest transition you had to make from the way we were working regularly to album mode, quote unquote?
It was getting used
I'm cooking with these questions right now.
It was getting used to being here at Trackout. Like it was just learning how to dial in your voice with the equipment here and just getting comfortable being here. Like I still like even though I work here, like sometimes I'm still like I'm still learning how to get comfortable. So that was a big part of it. I think just being here was different, and I wanted to respect it the same way part of the reason I was telling y'all what I was telling y'all, that is be full transparency. Part of me telling y'all like, yo, like you gotta come to work. It's the same idea for me. It's for me to hear it out like, yo, like we gotta come here to do the work. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be the engineer. You gotta do your best to get the best product out there. So it was a lot of that. It was a lot of just knowing that I wanted this to sound a certain way, and I wanted to feel a certain way because I respected you and I respected the crap, but also just me because it's my name, like, and that's something like that's why Chris reaching out, Chris Vintage, shout out Chris Vintage, go stream Chris Vintage.
His shit's bopping,
stupid hard. That was why it meant so much to me because I was like, he's the first engineer I really worked with, so he's my best friend, but he's also like for him to be like, yo, like you really like I could tell you really put like you. I was like, yeah, bro, I fucking. You know what I mean? Like I really wanted to flex for that, So it was good. It was a great feeling to be able to do that and for me to get that recognition as well. So it's just been a great process, bro. Like I'm just so proud of you. I'm so proud of me. I'm so proud of us. Proud of the team.
Shout out
I think what's really dope about this, shout out to YouTube Records. Let's go. Impact, influence, inspire.
That's perfect.
A big part of it. Yeah, I gotta hit all 3. You know what I'm saying? A big part of it is also setting the stage and the example for the rest of the boys. Like. Evan was the first project, Heartbreak Summer, which is now streaming. You can go check that out. No Conflict Kev, Evan. That was the first. That was the first body of work I mixed that wasn't my own music. You know what I mean? Like, so that was a challenge, and
that was a different ballpark.
But even on that, I made sure I was like, "Oh, it needs to feel. We gotta have the sounds. We gotta like." I really tried it because I know it sounds crazy, bro. Because it's like obviously like I do my own music, but it's like I just know to me what I think a great album, or a great body of work sounds like, and it's something that has all those little elements that sonically just make it feel like a real world experience. Like it's a cinematic experience. Like I hate that word, but it's like that is what it is.
Yeah.
That being said, with you, it was just like, okay, now it's taking that, but taking it a step further, and wanting to like really world build and do these videos and do all this shit to really bring it together. And I think that for me was also like so important to show them, just be like, yo, like this is where like. So they know moving forward, like, yo, like, this is the come correct, bro, because this is how we need to move. Like, it's like, if we really want to do this for real, really be, like, doing this, we don't need to be Drake, we don't need to be whoever, we need to be us. But to do it at the level that we want to be able to do it, it requires us to put in the time and really take this seriously and really, like, spend the money or whatever effectively and spend the time and all that, put all of it in the best way possible and put out these bodies of work on top of the singles or whatever, but the bodies of work, because that's what's going to stand the test of time, is like, regardless of whatever happens with streaming, whatever, is like, when people go to press play however they're pressing play, that they're gonna be like, wow, this is great. Yeah. This was worth however I got to it, whether I paid for it, whether I saw it at a show, whether I'm getting it, like it's real. You know what I mean? And in the grand scheme of the human race, like just when everything falls apart, like if that's also why I think like physical albums and physical things are coming back into time, or coming back into the zeitgeist, or whatever that word is. Because it's like that's the thing, you know, is to have physical things that like will last a test of time. You know, when the world ends, like that's going to be found by the next generation of people, or the aliens, or whoever it's going to be. These
we're the aliens,
you know, like here we go. It's going to be those kinds of things, because like the internet isn't forever, really. Like it's forever only until we're not here. Once we're gone, it doesn't really exist anymore. But these physical, like these songs, the things you've written, like the history and the impact that they'll have, that's a real thing, you know. And then there's the physical vinyl tape, whatever, that too. But it's like these stories are real, you know, they're tangible.
Yeah, once you release those zeros and ones of that song out, even once we're gone, once the nuclear war goes, in theory, they're still there. They're there forever. You know
they're there forever,
I mean?
yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you get what I'm
100%.
saying.
My last question.
Last question.
What is
last question?
Your last question. What is a or the one tip, pointer, or critique you have for me to work on moving forward for the next body of work?
I think the biggest thing is being more succinct. This sounds crazy, but being more succinct with what you're saying, in the sense of, there's a lot of times I think where I've assumed, I'm like, okay, this could have been said with less words. This could have been said a little bit more straightforward. And I think also just lending yourself to more melodic elements and more like other things, I think would help a lot too. But I think that's just the main thing, is like, I don't want to say dumbing it down, but I've sent you examples of people. I've sent you examples of people who are really great artists and who I think not only on the content, like, but as far as the lyricism and the flows and like the branding, have got it down. And I feel like that's where you could go. Like, and the examples I've given are like a Big Crit, a Dre Waves, shout out my boy Dre Waves. You know, these like just these certain, there's like a certain tone and a certain voice and a certain pocket in hip hop that you hit. And I just feel like if we refine, that's why I love Facade, because I feel like Facade is like the first like sparkle or like ember of that. It's like, oh, this is this. Whatever is going on in this, we gotta
sifting through. They found
that was you know, and that's what this whole process is about. You know, it's gonna take you years, even me, to refine your sound and refine, you know, all these different things. But for me, it's finding those little moments, those pockets. And the crazier part, back to the full circle of the whole conversation when we started, is learning how to say, okay, we made how many songs for this? Let's say 40. Probably like 40.
Yeah, I'd say somewhere between 25 and like 37.
Okay,
if I had to actually put a number,
whatever. Let's say 38.
I'd be counting.
So 38 songs. One out of all, not saying all one. That's the only go one. Yeah. But it's like, to do it on a real level, it's like, okay, you made one. Now we need 10 more of those. Yeah. However long it took us, almost 3 years, 2 years, 2.5 years to make this happen. That's what it takes. You know what I mean? Like that's what it takes to be a Drake. That's what it takes to be whatever. It's like being able to do that efficiently, effectively every single time. You know what I mean? Like that's what's so impressive about what him and a lot of these other artists do, is like, it's something, bro. It's something to do that every time. Yeah. Like not every time, but you get what I'm saying. No, like at that point, like when you're more times 90, right, bro. Like when you're a LeBron or whoever, in a league where even on your worst
average is 2.
Yes, on your worst day, you're still doing the craziest shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is a big part of it. Is just realizing like, yo, like that's what it takes. You know, it takes a lot of that. So that's why I love that song. That's why I really believe in the things that you can do, is because like that to me is the first glimpse of like, oh, this is where we could, like, I could see that going, and we could like that sound or that idea can really, yeah, that's the thing. That's like where we need to go. So that would be my biggest, just succinct, be willing to do more melodic shit. Yeah.
I would definitely,
and keep challenging me, bro. Like that's a big thing too. Like keep challenging me. Like even like
You're resistant though, right?
I
Like
can't-
I'll challenge him, and he
am.
won't respond to it until I come back the next time. Then he'll be like, "Okay."
I don't want to give away too much stuff, but like there's like in the song that we were playing earlier, like there like you've challenged me with a lot of different things, but like that like was the first time I've done something on a song that I haven't had a chance to do yet. So I was like really excited about it, and just being able to do that, and like that we've made it into the song that it is, it makes me really happy. So like I'm not gonna say anything.
I'll make your best chorus.
You mean, but nah, you're fucking stupid. That's just crazy. That's cap. CAPPPPPPP.
I'll be easy. I'll be fucking almost at easy in this bitch. I did not.
Nah, never in your life. I love you, but don't.
I mean, fucking.
I love you, but I'm me.
No,
I'm the, like,
him.
Anyway.
Him. All right.
Oh yeah, I'm very resistant, but it's like that's me as a person, bro. Like I need that. I need that challenge. I need someone to be like, yo, like.
I think that's what's good about us both, right?
Yeah, bro.
Is that like
1,000% about our friendship.
Like, so I don't say this as like a fucking like a bodacious or like a confident, but like I consider myself to be an alpha. Like I don't necessarily follow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know you consider yourself to be the same, regardless of whether you actually think you are or not. Like you can like
I'm just
like you lead though, right? So normally. What I'm saying right now, you're just hitting the nutsack. You know, like. But normally, when you have two people with such a strong mindset or such a strong thought process of like, it's not like, oh, we'll always right or nothing, but like when we come to a conclusion or we feel a type of way because of what we did to get there,
yeah,
we stand firm in it.
Yes,
and I enjoy the ability because it's something that it's almost been natural, you know, like my ability to give you the lead and to be able to just listen sometimes or to take lead when I feel like I actually need to, you know, and I feel like it's helped me outside of here with my other relationships or friendships or understanding with people, just knowing that, like, you know, something I say all the time is that like we don't gotta always agree, right?
Yeah.
But we gotta understand where the other person's coming from, and I feel like there's never been a time that I didn't understand where you were coming from, or vice versa. Whether I agreed with what you were saying or not, and I feel like that's one of the things that is so beneficial and something that I respect and enjoy so much about our friendship and relationship is the fact that, you know, whether it's creating a song, whether it's like, oh, I want to do this, or whether it's when we're having a talk or just expressing something, debating something, it's just, you know, it's there.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, so
with that
is it. That's our time.
That's it.
You know, I appreciate you.
Love you, bro.
You know, I love you, my man.
Intro to T is available on all platforms.
Streaming now.
Thank y'all. Grateful
what song
to be
we playing right now as it fades out? Airmail.
Gotta look cool. Wait, we gotta do something for the thumbnail. We gotta do like the. You gotta be like. There, hold on. Wait.
Which one? Oh, this one?
Yeah.